Some legends don't arrive quietly. They arrive like a statement. Carl Lewis was one of those athletes. When he stepped onto the track, it didn't feel like a race was about to happen. It felt like history was about to be tested. He wasn't just fast. He looked inevitable. Born in 1961 in Birmingham, Alabama, and raised in New Jersey, Lewis grew up in a household where running wasn't a hobby. It was part of the family language. His parents were involved in athletics and coaching, and from early on he was surrounded by training, technique, and the idea that excellence was built, not wished for. While most kids dream of being great, Lewis lived in an environment where greatness was treated like a daily routine. That background didn't guarantee success, but it shaped something crucial: his mindset. Even as a teenager, Lewis was different, not only in raw speed, but in how he carried pressure. Many athletes burn bright early and fade when stakes rise. Lewis did the opposite. He grew sharper when the spotlight got harsher. By the time he reached college at the University of Houston, he was entering a system that turned speed into something close to art. Houston was a factory of elite track talent, but Lewis wasn't just another name on a roster. He had a rare combination: sprinter's acceleration, long jumper's control, and a competitor's cold focus. He didn't simply want to win. He wanted to dominate in a way that left no debate. His Olympic story reached the world in 1984 in Los Angeles, at a time when America was hungry for symbolic victories. The Cold War era made sports feel bigger than sport, and the Olympics in the United States became an enormous stage for national pride. Lewis didn't just show up to compete. He arrived as a promise. And then he delivered something that felt impossible: for gold medals in a single Olympics. 100 meters, 200 meters, long jump, 4x100 relay. It wasn't just a great performance. It was a statement of supremacy across multiple disciplines. The comparisons came instantly. Jesse Owens had won 4 gold medals in Berlin in 1936. Now, decades later, Carl Lewis had echoed that achievement on American soil, not as imitation, but as a new chapter of the same legend line. But greatness is never only glory. It's also pressure that tries to crack you. After 1984, Lewis became the target of every rival, every headline, every expectation. The world doesn't chase second place. It chases whoever looks untouchable. And Lewis stayed in that crosshair for years. He entered Olympics after Olympics, not just trying to win, but trying to defend a standard that most athletes never experience. In 1988, in Seoul, the stage grew even more intense. Rivalry sharpened. Controversies in track and field were everywhere. The spotlight burned hotter. And yet, in one of the most iconic moments of his career, Lewis soared in the long jump and claimed gold again, proving that his dominance wasn't limited to straight-line speed. He had range, literally and historically. What makes Carl Lewis so rare is that his era didn't offer the comfortable modern athlete path. There was less protection, less control, more chaos. Track and field was dealing with global tension, doping scandals, political narratives, and a brutal reality that one bad performance could redefine public perception. Lewis kept winning anyway. He won across 3 Olympic Games, extending his dominance far beyond what most sprinters can sustain. Sprinters fade as years pass. Explosiveness declines. Younger athletes rise. Lewis didn't just survive that reality. He outlasted it. That longevity is a form of greatness people underestimate because it's less dramatic than a single record. But in elite sport, longevity is often harder than the first victory. And then there's the long jump, the event that became his personal empire. The long jump isn't just about power. It's about timing, precision, fear control, and conversion of speed into flight. It's an event where perfection lasts less than a second, and the margin between history and heartbreak can be the width of a fingertip in the sand. Lewis turned that chaos into consistency. He didn't just win. He built a reputation for showing up when it mattered most. While others chased a perfect jump, he chased repeatable greatness. That's why his career feels so unfair in the best way, because he combined brilliance with reliability. By the time he reached the early 1990s, many assumed the story was near its ending. That's how sports works. The world loves the next generation and forgets how hard it is to remain elite. But Lewis had one more historic chapter. In 1992, at the Barcelona Olympics, he claimed another gold medal in the 4x100 relay. It was a reminder that even as the sport evolved, he still belonged at the top. Not as a nostalgia figure, as a contributing champion. For an athlete whose reputation was built on individual dominance, the relay gold also symbolized something else: leadership. The ability to anchor not only a team, but an era. Carl Lewis finished his Olympic journey with a medal count that places him among the greatest of all time. But numbers alone don't explain his impact. He was a symbol of American athletic excellence during a period when the Olympics carried enormous cultural weight. He connected generations, echoing Jesse Owens' four-gold mythology while creating his own identity of sustained dominance. His legacy isn't just how fast he was or how far he jumped. It's that he refused to become ordinary. He refused to become a footnote. When history tested him in the most public way possible, in front of the world again and again, he kept passing the test. And that is what separates a champion from a legend.